In today's news, there are two crucial driving factors that will drastically influence the price of XRP happening right now before your very eyes. Jpmorgan leaked one of these major catalysts a few years back, and developments happening now in the United States and crypto space suggest that this summer could potentially be the moment Jpmorgan and everybody else has been waiting for. I bring your attention to this article leaked by Jpmorgan when Ripple was sued by the SEC all those years ago. It states that XRP can be used to facilitate transactions of many kinds, including fiat currency exchanges, commodity trading, and even cryptocurrency trading. Of course, it also highlights that Ripple's network includes over 100 financial institutions. Of course, we now know that number is well over 500, and that also includes Bank of America, which is a very big deal. But right here, under the future potential for Ripple's XRP, it clearly states that if the company is able to win the SEC lawsuit and trading resumes on major cryptocurrency exchanges like Coinbase, XRP is poised for significant adoption. This is a very big deal, and last year, amidst the verdict from Judge Torres that the sale of XRP to institutional investors was not a security, Coinbase did announce the relisting of XRP. So, step one of this process, the document leaked by Jpmorgan, has already come to fruition, but of course, we are still waiting for that official verdict, that stamp and seal from the courts greenlighting US adoption of XRP. Well, we have this video from Brad Garlinghouse. He stated recently or live on CNBC that we may see this verdict this summer. Listen very closely.
XRP was not a token in the context of retail use. It was a different story for institutions. Where do things stand with that case right now?
So right now, what the courts ruled and the judge said very clearly is XRP in and of itself is not a security. That's everything to us. That was, these are technologies that should be allowed to kind of breathe and thrive and grow. And to me, it's again, the inevitable march of those technologies, the progress. The case between Ripple and the SEC, we feel like is largely resolved. Most of that went Ripple's way. There's one case that the judge decided when an institutional sales and something called an investment contract, because there's a contract around it, the contract could be a security. And it was deemed that those were unregistered security sales. And so we're in the final, let's say half mile of that marathon. I think we'll see resolution hopefully this summer. The SEC asked for $2 billion in fines. My estimation is that'll be, certainly in the millions, not the billions. And I think it's again, just a misguided to even come out and ask for that when there's no accusation or certainly findings of reckless behavior, fraud, or any of those things. The other settlements that they've done have been represented like maybe 1 or 2% of what's been involved. And so it's just kind of posturing, in my opinion.
This is a very big deal for the Ripple CEO to come out and state this, therefore confirming that one of the two crucial driving factors that will influence the price of XRP, just as Jpmorgan predicted and leaked all those years ago, may potentially happen this summer. But as I stated, that's just one of the two crucial catalysts that will influence the price of XRP. Again, I bring you back to Jpmorgan. They themselves again stated in this article published from CoinDesk, the title states, US crypto regulations are moving against a CBDC and non-compliant stablecoins like Tether. That's Jpmorgan stating this. This is the second crucial catalyst, crypto regulations. And just like Jpmorgan confirmed, non-compliant stablecoins like Tether are in trouble. Funnily enough, everybody now is starting to sound like Brad Garlinghouse. In fact, he confirmed something similar in this interview here on stablecoins as the best use case in the entire crypto industry. But according to MiCA regulations, Tether will be in trouble. Listen closely.
Stablecoins to some degree the best use case of real utility in the entire crypto industry. I'm very much a believer. I worry a little bit about the regulatory dynamics. In Europe, you have MiCA or MiCA, whatever you pronounce it. It has some limitations on stablecoins, which will be interesting to see how that plays out. Tether is an interesting. I'm Ripple uses Tether in some of our customer payment flows, and I'm bullish. I worry a little bit, back to the transparency point. I think Tether would benefit by being even more transparent. And I think you're going to see, I'm not sure if PayPal will be successful, but I think you're going to see other players enter the stablecoin market because you're seeing the Tethers of the world make a lot of money.
Right.
And I think people look at ways to share that with participants. And as the last panel, there's, I think, a very salient point that in the US, that's hard in terms of because you don't want to violate various securities laws, but I think I'm very much a believer in the stablecoin market, and I think we'll see it continue to grow.
MiCA in Europe. These regulations are coming into effect later this year, and in the words of Deutsche Bank, a clearer regulatory framework should drive corporate adoption, therefore pushing up the price of the crypto market. Regulations will translate into price action for the crypto market. That is the very clear message. And as we can see again from Smoke, we have further confirmation that XRP will be covered in MiCA regulations. The FCA has recognized XRP as a utility token, and MiCA cryptocurrency framework, regulatory framework, directly covers utility tokens. So XRP will be protected, it will have the frameworks, and therefore it will replace USDT Tether. Jpmorgan knows this, Ripple knows this. The message is very, very clear. And we can see here from Edward that Binance Exchange, the largest exchange in the world, is already in the process of removing non-MiCA compliant stablecoins for users in the EEA. Tether won't be here, they are being threatened. Listen closely.
I mean that this won't change, especially as the digital euro will take some time, and there's a gap now, and somebody needs to fill the gap, so maybe they turn a blind eye and say like, okay, let them go till we have a digital euro, or it will be just an unknown situation where, Tether won't be there in Europe because it's not MiCA compliant, and some others might be also gone.
This summer, we may potentially see a huge flip in the market, a flip of the switch, and Jpmorgan predicted this stuff happening 3 years ago. When Ripple beats the SEC, we will see significant adoption of XRP. And then, well, all you have to do, you've done it for 3 years now, all you have to do now is survive until next year, survive until 2025. We have this video here, just like what Zach Rector stated, that if you just survive for 2025, regulatory clarity is going to be the biggest white swan event in our space yet. Listen closely.
Fidelity, talking about the biggest white swan event that could happen to our industry. Listen in here.
That. And so if we were to get a market structure bill in the US, which I think is one of probably the biggest white swans that could happen to our industry, is just regulatory clarity on whether certain tokens or securities or commodities, how they should operate, what it takes to be an ATS venue. I think that's a big unlock. And if you can get some of the larger market participants, the Fidelities and the BlackRocks and some of the larger custodians behind a market structure bill, then I think you really start to see this real world asset narrative get some legs in a way that it hasn't.
And that's why we've been saying survive till 2025. Are they going to pass legislation this year? We're not going to be holding our breath, but we are praying, right? And like you said, this is going to be the biggest white swan event for our space yet. And down the road, meanwhile, behind in the boardrooms, I guarantee you, it is, DEFCON 3. We need to figure out how to get this technology to work, to benefit us, so that we can maintain our share as incumbents in this space. If we want to be able to survive and thrive, we need to figure out a DLT cryptocurrency program. And so, front facing, they're saying calmly, yeah, we're not in it yet. We're going to be coming in though. We're excited. We're playing around. In the back boardroom, it's a matter of survival of the fittest for these institutions.
Regulations are going to transform this space, and assets that are not regulated in time will be cannibalized. Tether is one of them. Jpmorgan knows this, Ripple knows this, and I bet you right now that Jpmorgan are hedging all of their bets on XRP. With this final judgment imminent, XRP's adoption is about to go parabolic, and therefore so is the price of XRP. It's about to explode. You have survived 3 long years of this lawsuit. You just had to survive a little bit more. So don't look short term, think long term, and I'll see you in the next one.